Therefore take heed to yourself and to all the flock among which the Holy Spirit has made you overseers to shepherd the church of God, which he purchased with his own blood. For I know this, that after my departure, savage wolves will come in among you, not sparing the flock. Also from among yourselves men will rise up, speaking perverse things. And your word perverse things literally means different things. A good example of this is in the book of Galatians, where the Jews from Jerusalem come down, or from Judea more specifically, come down, and they start teaching a different gospel. They start saying, well, you have to be circumcised. They're teaching something different. And they're going to draw away disciples after themselves is what they're going to do. So the church had to actually deal with this and dealing with these false apostles. And because of that, they did actually lose their first love. But there is a difference between maturing and growing and dealing with false information that's coming in and not being done in a very unloving way. If somebody says something wrong, they're cast out of the church rather than corrections and talking about it and dealing with it and bringing us all to a oneness of the faith. There needs to be a focus on love for the brethren. Now, love for the brethren does not mean you're going to continue to tolerate heresy, because that's not love. So it's not going to permit it, but you can see that they took it to the extreme where they wouldn't tolerate it at all. So they lost their first love. So 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20, where it says, if someone says, I love God, and hates his brother, and remember your word hate here actually means indifferent to. So it's not the same strength of the English word hate. We do have a perfectly good Greek word for that, but this is not it. This is your word indifference. So you don't care whether they are successful or not. You just could care less about a fellow saint.